Hello, welcome back to Silver Thread Sewing. I'm Diane. This is Friday Sews. So, hope everyone's had a good week, good couple weeks. I didn't do a Friday Sews last week. I hadn't really finished a whole lot and thought I would wait and maybe have something to show you this week. Before I do that, I want to say thank you as always to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this hashtag and allowing us to all get under that umbrella so we can be found and people who are like-minded can watch. I will start by saying the two things that I've made in the past. And I thought it might be fun to share with you a few things, a few patterns that I have made in the past and the ones that I have pictures of. You know, back several years ago, I didn't pay any attention to taking pictures of my makes or trying to keep up with what was which pattern and all that. So up about probably 4 or 5 years ago, I had lost quite a bit of weight and it wasn't long till I started gaining some back. But the clothes that I made back then, some of them don't fit me now and some do. It just depends on how they're made. So some of these I still can wear and some of these I can't. But I thought you might get a kick out of seeing these patterns. They're all the big 4 patterns or big 5. I don't know how many there are now. But I do just want to reiterate that, you know, don't do as I do or say. Just take whatever I might show you if you want to as inspiration or what not to do when you sew, because you know I don't buy expensive fabrics. I can't afford that, and I wouldn't feel comfortable cutting into something expensive not knowing if it was going to work or if I was going to mess it up. Now, the red Valentine's Day dress that I made a couple weeks ago that had the twist, it was too big. It was too big at the top and it was too tight through the hips. So I didn't really know how to alter that dress because I didn't understand the instructions for that twist part. So I do think if I had made it in a lighter fabric, it would have looked better, but probably still not great. I still have it and I would still like to work on it and maybe take in the top part, but I really don't know how I would let the bottom part out. So I don't know if it's salvageable or not, but the fabric didn't cost much. And like I said, I use Walmart bundles, I use quilting cottons, and I have some fabrics that I've ordered from different online stores. So some of my fabrics are better than others. But you know what? I don't spend a lot on my clothes either. So when I buy anything, it's usually just, you know, just plain clothes. The only thing I've made today is this iris tee. I wear this thing all the time, and then this is just a ready-to-wear flannel shirt. My favorite kind of stuff to wear. It's comfortable and warm. I'm really wanting to start making some spring patterns and dresses and maybe make some shorts and stuff like that and short sleeve tops. But it's really chilly still here. I think it was 26 this morning. It's up about maybe 50 today, but it's still, there's a nip in the air and it's supposed to stay cold for a little while. So probably I'm not going to make anything for real warm or weather until later on. So anyway, I'll show you my makes and share a few things with you, and then I'll let you go on and watch other Friday Sews. So the first thing that I made, and I'll put a picture up of the pattern, is the Lisbon Cardigan. I've made several versions of this, and I made this one in this it's kind of a butterscotch color, and it's not really a waffle knit, it's more like a thermal knit. I hope you can see that. But it's lightweight. This was a Walmart bundle, and I only put 2 buttons on this one, 2 at the top. But it's got long sleeves with cuffs. Now on this Lisbon cardigan, I cut probably 2 inches off the bottom of the sleeve to make it hit me where I wanted it to, because I evidently have short arms. And I have a lot of trouble keeping the sleeves being too long. So I made this little Lisbon cardigan to go with this pattern. And it's McCalls 7122. And I made long sleeve version, C, and that length, and the line drawings are there. Hopefully I'm holding that so you can see it. I've made this in the past, and I'll show you a picture of the one I'd made, but this is the one that I made this time. Now, it has a center back seam, and it's pretty long, and this is a double brush poly that came from Fabric Mart Fabrics. It's a really soft, pretty fabric, and I put kind of large cuffs on the sleeves. And that gives it just a little bit more, it kind of holds it into my wrist a little bit better. I have tiny wrists, but the first time that I made this dress, I made View B, which is the one the model's wearing. And I'll insert a picture, I'll first insert a picture of this together, and then this separately. And then I will insert a picture of the one that I made a few years ago. It was out of a knit fabric too, of course, but it was a really strange fabric, and I don't know what it was exactly. It was pretty, but it was kind of thin, and it was almost a crinkle texture. But it was a knit, and I don't exactly know what it was, but I outgrew it and passed it on to somebody else. So I have always had access to Simplicity, McCalls, Butterick. I don't have but maybe one or two Vogue patterns because I always thought that they were hard. So I've got one or two, I think. I've got one dress that I would like to make. I'll share that with you another time. But I was going to show you these patterns that I have made, and the ones that I have pictures for, I will insert a picture so you can see what it looked like. I made McCalls 7530. And that was I made that in a yellow Swiss dot fabric. And I found that pattern very easy to sew. Here's the line drawings. And I just made View C, the short sleeve version. And I love this pattern. It was very simple. It had an elasticized waist with, I believe it had a case in the best I remember. But I outgrew that one too. Mainly in the hips. I don't put on a lot of weight in my upper body, but it's all in my lower body. What next? So the next one that I made is Butterick 6481. And I actually made this one twice. And I made this version here. It has a waistband, and it has like princess seam here, but I made it in a solid red linen first, and the next time I made it in two different fabrics. The bottom part was a burgundy solid, and the top part was an ivory with burgundy flowers, a floral design in it, and I made version A both times. But I found that one very easy to sew, and I liked it a lot. I don't remember. I still have both of those. I have both of those, but I haven't worn them in a while, so I need to try them on and see if they still fit. So the next pattern that I made and really, really liked, and I still have the dress, is McCalls 7242, and I made version B, the long sleeve with the tiered ruffle at the bottom. And I just used a crinkle type fabric. I'm sure it was polyester, but it was a rust color, and I'll insert a picture. But that was a really good pattern, and I got so many compliments on that dress. It fit me pretty well. I'd also made New Look 6524, and I made version B. This one in the black. And it had the little, I don't know what you call those sleeves, but it had the little flounce, I think, at the bottom of the sleeves. It was just made out of a quilting cotton, and I have one picture of that. It's not a great picture. You can just see part of the dress, but I made it just a little bit longer than this. But that was a really easy and a really good little pattern. So, McCalls 7122 that I made this week. is almost identical to the pattern that I showed you last week, and Grace from So Lovely with Grace had made this. It's New Look 6298. And I'm going to show you the line drawings as best I can from these two patterns. Now this may not be the best choice, but this is McCalls 7122, the line drawings. New Look 6298. They both have a center back seam, raglan sleeves. They are so similar. Now, this pattern offers cap sleeves and leggings and a tunic length, but this New Look offers the tunic length, and it has pockets, and also one that has a hem band at the bottom. So I have got this pattern traced out, and I'm planning to make one of these, hopefully this coming week. So I've got a couple things I'd like to get done this coming week. I would like to make a couple more sweatshirts. I don't really need hoodies, but I'm going to use New Look 6759 that I showed you last week, and I'm just going to make the same sweatshirt that the model's wearing, the lady. And then I also still have this It's So Easy Simplicity 9718, and I made this a while back. It has the twist detail in the front, and it turned out too big too, so I am going to cut this in a smaller size, especially through the top. And I want to make a couple long sleeve shirts like this to kind of work in till it does get warm. So I have this one project still cut out that I cut out a long time ago, and it's made out of this cotton lawn fabric, and it's McCalls 7948, and I've made it a couple times. I made it in a real pretty linen, and I wore it a lot last summer, and I'm going to try to get that one finished up so I'll have all my little to-do pile done. Callie and I have a wedding to go to Saturday, tomorrow, and then that would have been my mom's birthday. But we're going to go to Kentucky to a friend's wedding. And I'm not sure, I kind of feel like the burgundy and yellow might be a little dark for a wedding. So I don't know if I'll get this one finished in time. It'll have short sleeves, and it'll be this cotton lawn, but I could wear a sweater or something over it probably. But I was going to show you a picture of me and my mom. It was probably 4, maybe 5 years ago now. When they were still home and she was still able to be up and about. But I was wearing the Simple Sew Grace dress that I've shared with you before, and it was in just a cotton fabric. It was yellow, and it had pink roses on it. And it was just such a good picture of she and I had that dress on, so I wanted to share that with you as well. But I'm going to quit yammering on and let you guys get back to watching Friday Sews and whatever else you are doing. But I do hope that you enjoy some of the things I got done in the past. It seemed to be easier in some ways than it is now, and I don't really know why, if it's just where I've gained weight, I think, and I'm not one size. And I need to learn to grade in at the top and out at the bottom. So I will get there, hopefully. And if I don't, you know what? It's not the end of the world. It'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. But just enjoy the sewing. Enjoy the process. And don't let it become stressful or something that you dread. It should never be that way. It's meant to be enjoyable. You know, we can go out and buy something if we have to. Back when my grandmother had to sew for the family on this treadle sewing machine that's upstairs right now, and that I learned to sew on this machine when I was tiny, probably not tiny, but probably 7, 8, 9 years old. My feet were so little I couldn't treadle it with one foot, so I had to put one foot in the front and one foot in the back and treadle it that way. But that's the only machine I had for a very long time. And then finally got an electric one that was used, and it was bad. It broke deagles all the time and dropped stitches, and it was just worn out. But anyway, that's why I have my machines now, because I always wanted to sew, and I never had anything to sew with, really. So I do have a lot of gadgets and gizmos now, but I'm very thankful for them. And my ability certainly does not match the machines or the tools or the patterns or anything else that I have, but I'm thankful for it, and I enjoy the process of trying. So don't give up on sewing. Keep right on trying, even if things don't work out well. Trust me, they don't for me, that's for sure. But have a great weekend, and I will see you hopefully in a week or two. Bye.